I'll settle. Okay, let me introduce myself. I'm Mojo Morris Jones. The nickname I picked it up when I was 15 and it kind of stuck then, and you'll get used to it. I have. So hand number 8. West is the dealer. Nobody's vulnerable. What a nice big hand. 21, 22 points. It looks to me like when I look at this hand, my plan is to open it 2 clubs and to rebid 2 no trump. How is that going to work out? If I open it 2 clubs and my partner might have the option of saying 3 clubs as a good suit. It's a 6-card suit. But I think I would tend to say 2 diamonds just because waiting.
Half an hour.
I'd want to have a few more points for is my head there?
We can't, you're over the West hand.
Let me
Okay.
solve that. Just a moment.
I was trying to figure out how you did that. It was pretty slick.
Yeah, was it? Okay.
Yeah, but it was in the way.
It was
Yeah.
in the way.
Is that better? Is that better?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, 2 clubs pass. I'm still saying 2 diamonds without a slightly better hand. 2 no trump, and then I'm just saying 3 no trump with East. It should work out pretty well. I might consider losing 1 trump, 1 club early. And plan to, because the only entries to the East hand are in the clubs itself. So knowing that you have 9 clubs and you can expect them to divide 3-1 as they do, I know I'm going to have to lose a club in the process of setting them up. So why not lose the first one instead of the third one? Was there anything else you wanted to know about this hand?
I'm happy to know I did it right. Lost that club at the beginning.
All right, let me bring 2 up while I'm here. And viewer link. Okay. Hand 2. Pass, pass, pass. Nice 15 high card point hand, 4-5 in the spades and hearts. So 1 heart, pass. This is a nice heart raise. You are a passed hand. More experienced players have conventions that they would use to show a hand like this. But even if you didn't, if you did a limit raise in hearts of 3 hearts, North should accept and go on to 4. And it looks to me like that's where it would land. The spade finesse is onside. The hearts break 3-1. The diamond ace is onside. You'll lose a club. You might be able to ref a diamond. How did you do in the hand?
We made the contract. I think we even made 5 +1, but I think the percentages were not great. So that's why I was asking to see if it was why, yeah. We made 4.
5 should be a very good result.
Our opponents made 4 + 1. Maybe we played against you. I don't know.
Oh.
Melinda, you had
We
your
only took our
hand
2 aces. That's all we got was our 2 aces.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm misremembering, but yeah, if that's the contract and that's the maximum one can make, I don't have any other questions.
Right. Okay.
Thank you.
Are they still playing at that one table?
Yes, they are.
Oh,
They're
they
almost
are,
through.
aren't they?
They're gonna lose 2 more. Two
Yeah,
more
I see.
tricks.
I think he's not going to have too much trouble. Well, there's his 10th trick.
Yeah.
Making 4. Let me do board.
long as the honors don't fall on each other in the Trump suit.
Yes, unless they crash.
All done.
Yeah, here we go. Well, I'm filling in tonight for Linda. I'm the managing director of the Pasadena Bridge Club near Los Angeles. And and I love getting together with you guys to do this, so I'm delighted when Lynn asked me. I'll take a quick look at number 3 while we get any stragglers in here. This is south is the dealer, east-west is vulnerable. This looks like a good one club opener. You could get a 2 diamond overcall or a 1 diamond overcall at some tables. I'm not sure. I think I'd just sit and wait. What does North bid over 1 club? Probably 1 no trump. It's interesting. It's an interesting hand because East West have most of the high card points, but South is opening the bidding. Was there something specific about this hand that you wanted to know?
But the 1 diamond overcall on West.
Yeah, I mean some players will overcall it and some won't. The rule of thumb I go by for deciding whether or not to overcall is, do I want my partner leading the suit? And I probably do. There is a good chance. I mean, I can't know that my partner has the king jack. If I did, sure, of course I'll overcall it, but you can't know that. So, and if you are defending 1 no trump, then it's a pretty good lead. So
we
it
were
looks like
wondering about the possible second bid.
by
for South.
South after 1 no trump.
Yes.
I'm passing, certainly. I'm balanced. I'm a minimum. Partner has denied having 4 hearts or 4 spades with that call, so I'm happy to pass 1 no trump.
Thank you.
All right, well, let's look at the hands that were lesson hands. I don't know if you the focus of the 4 lesson hands tonight were 3rd and 4th seat openings. I was here on Tuesday, and we talked about 1st and 2nd seat openings. So this is a good example of a hand in 3rd seat where you could pass it or you could not. It's not a traditional opener for beginning bridge students because it's only a 10 high card point hand and it's a balanced hand. And it doesn't look like one where you would open the bidding. But when your partner has already passed in 3rd seat, you have some real good possibilities. And also if it goes pass to you, it's not unlikely that the hand to your left has all the points and you're likely to be defending. So if you have a suit you want your partner to lead, maybe now is the time to mention it. If you pass this hand, West will open 1 no trump, North will pass, and East should bid 3 no trump. You've got 10 points. You don't have a major. And North will be on lead. And they're likely to lead the 10 of spades. Now, I kibitz the hand a little bit, and I noticed, interestingly, a lot of North players chose to lead the 3 of clubs instead. It's true that the clubs are just as long as the spades. I think the thing is that when I have the sequence of spades, the 10, 9, 8, I'm going to have a slight preference for that lead. I'm not going to give away any tricks for sure. The 3 of clubs will make the jack of if you lead the 3 of clubs, it'll make the it'll declare 2 tricks in clubs, and then they'll get 4 tricks in diamonds. They will have time to set up the spades for 2 tricks in spades, and they'll be able to make the contract. That's 9 tricks. But suppose instead of passing, South bids 1 heart. In that case, North should get off to a heart lead, and the contract can't be made. South will have plenty of opportunities to, what heart do I play here? The 9 is enough, and they'll probably duck for a couple of rounds of hearts in the hopes that I won't continue them. And if I'm paying attention, I can just lead a small heart here. And now declare just cannot make the contract. The king of clubs is over here, and they have to set up the spades in order to make the contract. So the point of this one was to open that 10 card, that 10-point South hand with a heart in third seat. There's some guidelines. There's a guideline that I've heard about opening in third seat. And the most important thing you want to have in third seat are majors. You want to have the cards that are high on the bidding ladder. I forget who it was that gave me this guideline, and I haven't been able to document it anywhere, but it's a guideline of 18 where you take your high card points and the number of cards in the majors. And if it's 18, it's probably a safe hand to open in third seat. If you don't have the majors, your opening has to be, well, you need a slightly better hand, and you want to suggest a lead, but try that guideline and see if it helps you decide to open in third seat. And if it does, let me know. mojo@PasadenaBridgeClub.com because I want to hear about it. Any questions on this hand?
What about borrowing 3 points?
No, that doesn't affect, that's not a thing in third seat when you're opening.
That's
Use
the third
that
seat
when,
when you're after overcall.
no, yeah. When the opponents have opened and
Right.
it goes past, or they have opened and then you're in the pass out seat. That's when you borrow the king. That's when you're balancing. That's when they're showing, when you're likely to have an equal number of points in both hands. That's when you borrow a king from your hand. Third seat for opening, no, you're opening to suggest a lead or to perhaps find a contract, but you're not in the balancing seat at this point. So it's a different thing. Anything else? Okay, let's look at number 6, which was the second hand. And again, this is a third seat opener. East passes. It's a nice heart suit and a good 10-point hand, but it's still a pass in first seat. Also second seat, South passes. Now, here's a case where, once again, my guideline works. 11 high card points, 8 cards in the majors. That totals to 19. And even though it may not be a first or second seat opener, this is a hand where you would open 1 spade. Now, if you do that and North passes, as I think I would, East has a really good hand over 1 spade. Now, they don't have support for the spades, but they're going to bid 2 hearts. And the thing that you have the luxury of doing in third seat is that when your partner makes what would ordinarily be a forcing bid, is you don't have to raise them. You don't have to keep bidding. Having 3 card support for my partner's hearts and a hand that I wouldn't necessarily open in first or second seat, knowing that my partner is already a passed hand, knows that we don't have a game in our future. So let's go for a good part score. In any auction that goes 1 spade past 2 hearts, that 2 heart bid should promise 5 of them. If you don't have 5 hearts in that auction and you do have 10 points, you're going to have a 4 card minor. You can bid that instead. But if I'm confident that my partner has 5 hearts, it's especially good to pass the 2 heart bid. I looked at some of the results and I found that the teams who played this hand in 2 hearts, which only makes 2, if you go any higher, you won't get a plus score. That was good for like a 90% match point score. Any questions on this one?
Yes. Could you please, just for a sec, 2 questions,
Sure.
but they're related. The first is, if West were to have passed, should North have done anything?
North should pass as well. 6, 7, 8.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a pass to me. 10 high card points, 2 spades.
right. When we were looking at this,
Mm-hmm.
our West passed, and we passed also.
Good.
Now, I've seen this happen before, mostly in clubs. And when I look at the hand, it did look like it was an east-west hand. And I'm wondering why, with a pass out, the north-south score was not greater. Did most of the east-west people set themselves?
If, yes, actually, they got a little too high. That was part of the problem. Yeah,
Right.
the key
Okay.
there is passing the 2-heart bid, and a lot of pairs did not pass the 2-heart bid. They got a little too high, and that ends up being a good score for north-south.
Thank
In more experienced games, that won't happen so much.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
there you go. Good question. The next one I had was board 7. And if you look at my bidding, it's pass, 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 pass. Let's talk about that just a little bit. South doesn't have an opening and West doesn't have an opening. North, you've got 2 aces. It's an 8-point balanced hand. And I know you want to open light in 3rd seat, but let's use my little guideline. 8 high card points, 6 cards in the majors. It's only 14. Passing actually looks right to me. Now, this East hand, my God, it's 10, 11, 12 high card points, 13 total. You've got 5 diamonds and 4 hearts. Why would I dream of passing this hand? You don't have the spades. Here's the problem. Of course, your partner has already passed. You're in East. And if I open the hand 1 diamond, a good South will use that opportunity to make a takeout double, to show that they're short in diamonds. They've got tolerance for all 3 of the other suits, spades, hearts, and clubs. And north-south are on the way to finding a good 2-spade contract. That's why the spades are so important when you're opening in 4th seat, when you're considering opening in 4th seat. Because if you decide to pass it out, you get a 0 score. Now, a 0 score is better than any negative score. And it's true that East and West have a good heart fit, but if they get above 2 hearts, they're going to be going down. And North-South should be finding their spade fit. If you don't do the takeout double in South, it's going to be hard to find. But and the scores of the tables here, I know, are going to be very different from what you would get in a tournament game, for instance. But this is a hand where passing out is likely to be your best result. And when I teach this in class, no one passes it. No one ever dreams of passing that. Does anyone have any questions on this hand?
I have a question on the hand.
Sure.
So my question has to do with, you can do a takeout double even if you've already been a passed hand. Is
You
it
can.
even more effective as a passed hand because your partner knows you don't really have a full count? But
I think you said what I had to say for me.
but I thought there was a rule that you don't do a takeout double if you're already a passed hand. I'm confused. Does it have another name?
You can call it it's called a double by a passed hand.
Okay.
It's self-limiting, but it lets partner know that you were close to opening and that you have the shape and that perhaps we could compete for a part score if we have a fit.
Okay.
So partner, I mean, it's very descriptive. The fact that you've already passed and the fact that you're making a double now, it gives partner a lot of options for competing. So it's called a double by a passed hand. That's all there is to it.
Does it always promise a 4-card spade suit?
Well,
The other major?
no. I mean, the other major in this case would be both hearts and spades.
Oh, right.
Because diamonds were the opening bid, and you should have at least 4-3. It's going to be sad if partners only suit are diamonds, for instance, and they have to pick a 3-card major. But things can go wrong in bridge, as you know. But this is a hand that I think doubling as a competitive takeout double is a good idea. Kirk,
I had a question. If this heart and spade suit would flipped, so you had the king 10, 5, 2 of spades, you would open the hand because you've got a stronger spade, or would you still pass?
No, it's exactly true. That's exactly true. If I switch the hearts and the spades here, I'm opening the hand one diamond.
Okay,
Because I've got good protection against spades, and the partners aren't likely to have a fit there. We'll probably find a 2-heart part score, and maybe it'll be fine.
Can I ask one more question,
Yeah,
Mr.
John.
John? Let's assume that East bids a diamond.
Okay.
Let's assume that, I mean, excuse me, maybe, yeah, diamond. Let's assume South doubles. West bids 2 diamonds.
No. one
What
heart.
does North do?
Well, West shouldn't be raising diamonds with only 3. West should be
Let's
bidding.
assume they did, because that's what happened.
Okay, 1 diamond. Asking for a friend. One diamond double, 2 diamonds. If I'm at North with 2 aces and a 4-card spade suit, I'm bidding 2 spades.
Okay, even though you only have 8 points.
Sure. My partner's showing a match.
Of course, and of course, I'm initially a passed hand. I made a passed hand double.
Right. So the passed hand double, as you say, you're showing a hand that's almost an opening hand, and with the right shape for a double. With my 8 points and 2 aces, it sounds to me like our side has about half the points in this deck, and I want to compete at 2 spades, especially because I have the spades.
Okay, so the bid by North was 2 spades.
Sure.
In that situation.
Yes.
Okay, but now getting back to what's bid, West should never have raised the diamonds. Is that correct?
I wouldn't raise diamonds with 3 when I have a 4-card heart suit to bid.
Okay, let's say they bid 2 hearts,
One
but then North's bid is the same thing.
They should have been 1 heart, not 2 hearts. West.
1 heart. Yeah.
1 heart.
1 heart.
Okay.
Say North could say 1 spade then. And
Okay, I got it.
And now
Thank
that
you.
North South knows about the spade fit, they can compete to 2 at least anyway.
Okay, thanks.
All right, let's move on to the last lesson hand, which was the last hand of the day, which is another 4th suit opener. And West is the dealer here, and they have a pass. North has a good, strong hand, shapely hand, but it's 10 points. It's also a pass. East has another 10 points, and it's a pass. In fact, all 4 hands have 10 points. The average bridge hand is a 10-point hand. That's an average hand. By the way, here's a tip. When you go to play at your local bridge club in person, and you take a hand out of the board, and the first thing you notice is that it's sorted. That's interesting. And then you count the hand, as you always do, and it's 9, 10, something like that. And it's been sorted. And you look at that, you know what happened at the last table this hand was at, don't you? It was passed out. And everyone put the hand back in the board. What's the lesson you take away from this? If you're in that position and you yes, Debbie, thank you. If you're in that position and you pass out the hand, mix it up before you put it back in the board. Because you want to get a good result from that pass out, and that's how you do that. All right, let's look at this hand. Pass, pass, pass. 10 points, 5 spades. That's interesting. The guideline for opening in 4th seat is to use Pearson points, high card points plus the number of spades. I didn't know Mr. Pearson. I don't know the story of how he came up with this. But when you've got the spades in a hand like this, you should consider opening it. I'm not saying you have to, but in this particular hand, these are lesson hands, right? So they're all going to be favorable examples. So if you open the hand 1 spade, your partner should get pretty excited. Now, West should pass 1 spade. North, your hand got, I call it a gruesome hand, because when your partner opened 1 spade, it grew some. Your singleton diamond becomes worth a lot.
Oh,
Don't laugh at my bad jokes. I'm sorry. And if South can play the hand to actually make 4, and if you've got a strong constitution, your partner says 1 spade, you can consider bidding 4 spades with this hand. Anything else you say is likely to be passed out. If I say 3 spades, South should pass. I think you're a subpar opener. But this is a hand where 2 10-point hands and a lot of shape make a game. You lose 2 spades, you lose the ace of clubs, and that should be it. If you trump your diamond losers, you'll make 4. Any questions about this one? Any other hands? Let's see. We talked about.
What
Eight
might go
and
into your
3.
decision to bidding 3 or 4 with North?
Oh my goodness. Well, if I'm just counting dummy points, which in me is I give myself 3 points for that singleton diamond. Because it's like having the king in diamonds, right? I can lose the first diamond, I'm not losing the second one. It's like having the king. So it becomes a 13-point hand. If you're with a familiar partner and you've discussed 4th seat openings and you want to take a chance that they're a light opening in 4th seat, you might consider just bidding 3 spades as a limit raise. But if you have a partner who isn't likely to open light in 4th seat, you're always bidding 4 because that's a sound opener. You're a game going raise.
Okay, and the 3 in some ways is invitational. If there was a real opening in South, they could have gone to 4.
They would go to 4, exactly. And so it's on you to go to 4. If you feel, a guideline I've been told is that if you're going to be heartbroken if your partner doesn't raise to 4, then just bid 4 and don't invite. So bidding 4, it takes a little judgment and a little bit of luck, and it works out with this hand, and it's not always going to. And if you have an understanding partner, you'll say, hey, this is a cool hand. Thank you for that bid. That's about it. Bridge is like that.
Thank you.
Oh, Lynn, you spelled Pearson differently from the way I've seen it. Thank you for checking that out for me, Don Pearson. How about that?
My pleasure.
Yay. Okay. If you're ever out in the LA area, come play with us at the Pasadena Bridge Club. And thank you all for having me today.
Thank you, Lynn. Thanks for coming,
Thank
Mojo.
you.
We always,
Thank you.
hey, we're going to see Mojo again on the 2nd of May.
Yes, I'll be back.
Linda will be back next week. Everybody have a great night.
Thank you, Lynn.
You
Thank
bet.
you, Mojo. Thanks so
Bye-bye.
much, as always.